All right, we'll try to make this quick, um, and just kind of explain the topic or title. So, something that may be fairly evident is that oftentimes when I do a stream on Saturday, you can see my lamp in the background is on, because if I don't have it on, it's really dark and you can't see anything at all. And one of the principal reasons for that is there's always a circumstance that arises during the weekend where basically, since no one is working, people try to get me involved with things that are not relating to, I guess, my daily routine, so to speak. Like you'll go out. Basically, the only time where I can reasonably not expect to be pulled from doing a stream is probably early in the morning, which usually I'm not awake on Saturdays because I'll do some stuff as far as like just computer crap before. There actually was one occasion where I was up early and then did a stream and then passed out, and it was I think it was people are aware of their own insignificance or something like that. It was a couple of weeks back, but that was the last example of me being up relatively early on a Saturday in the last couple of months or so. So that's one of the reasons. And the other instance where I'm usually not getting messed with is late at night, 10, 11, 12. Rob Vulture says, I'm making a presentation about slavery for an upcoming book we're reviewing in college class. You have anything to add? What I should inform my classmates? Um, I mean, if I was speaking of it in a contemporary manner, I would just say that oftentimes conservative commentators will mention the Democrats being the party of slavery or being the originators of it, which is true, but they'll use it in a disingenuous way as to deflect from other issues that the Democrats might be better on the Republicans than. So, for example, if you ask somebody like, man, I'm getting off topic. We'll speak about that later. Always says he's fixing to play the food right now. I didn't mean to cut his meal off. I apologize. I just wanted to inform you. And that's why when I did the Patreon thing, I said, this 2000 thing might be some whack goal, but the reason I said this because oftentimes when I do a stream, that's kind of why when I edit stuff, at the very least, I can, if I get messed with, I can come back and then continue doing it. Um, but if it relates to something like, a live performance, I can have somebody walk through my door right now and say, "Hey, did you do this? I need help with this." Like, oh my god! So that's the reason I said that. If I had that on a monthly basis, I wouldn't have to worry about it. I know what I was saying was that you have conservative commentators who, if you talk about something else like climate change, like income inequality, whatever the hell, stuff that is entirely fixed around the current era where neither party is promoting slavery or anything like that, you'll have one of the Republicans, their commentators especially, start talking about the evil history of the Democrats like it matters as relates to these contemporary issues that, again, are not related to that topic. So that was my point, that it's in its present tense. I guess I'll give you a comparison, right? So I'm a big fan of Ted Kennedy, right? And when he died, I distinctively remember there was a big, large number of stories about Chappaquiddick, blah 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 blah. And one of my relatives who had been alive the entire time he was a senator. So for the entire span of, I think it was 46 years, they told me that all these people who bring up that event with and that woman, Mary Jo Kopechne, they don't actually care about that woman. They use her to smear him and make him look evil. And it's the same thing with slavery. The commentators that bring that stuff up don't care about the malpractices that were applied toward that group of people. All they're concerned with is trying to make you think one party's evil and the other one is good. They take someone or something that's completely unrelated to the topic, and then they just blow it up to attack a living person or some other entity that they're seeking to disparage. I haven't really thought about perspective, what I've got so far stated for various regions. Oh no, well look, I'm saying that I would rather, if I were writing that, if there was anything I could add, it would be about its contemporary usage, where it's now become an attack tactic on Republicans, or rather on Democrats by Republicans, and their commentators most especially. But yeah, I hope you understood that example. So I'm glad Envoy's making his plate. I didn't even say anything to Turner. Well, the Southerners were heavy on agriculture and religion, while the Northerners urbanized faster, meaning they created factories and rely heavily on plantation work. Yeah. Again, I'm not really sure what I can say here. That you already seem as if you have everything there. Envoy's making his plate. So look, that's the reason why this stuff happens. I might end up doing something longer later tonight. But again, there's pros and cons to doing a stream and doing something I record and put up. From what I've seen of Yang, he seems like a good person, a great candidate in comparison with everything else that's running, other than maybe Bernie and Tulsi. Only problem I have is that apparently he's not for tuition-free college, which is kind of a big issue. It's not something now, again, because I've had this come up before. It's not something that would cause me not to vote for him or support him over 99% of the other people that are running. It's just that little thing. Yeah, but brought the reason, what I'm saying is that one of the issues with doing them just consistently is always worrying that as it goes on, someone is going to come and mess it up. Just like the one yesterday. I planned on talking for another 20 or 30 minutes, and then someone called and blew it up. If you remember, I did the stream on Trump pulling out of Syria, and I was talking about it for maybe 10, 20 minutes. Someone came and blew it up. It's a common occurrence where literally every time I seem to sit down, and I guess what's even crazier is that sometimes I'll just sit here and I won't have anyone say anything to me, anyone call, and then the minute I start streaming, 3 minutes into it, this person arrives. 4 minutes in, this person calls. 10 minutes in, this person sends me a text. Like, go away. Ugh. Well, I'm saying that I don't like that because those kind of impromptu things only happen when there's a stream. If it's when because I've had people interrupt when I've recorded before. Well, I'm not busy. It's only on Saturday where there's a whole bunch of little errands that I run, and then I have some other person trying to interact as well. So I'm saying that usually if I get interrupted during the weekdays, it's because you have other people around that are not working or are not, presently at some occupation or whatever. And a lot of them have schedules that I can't pin down. So it's like playing Russian roulette where one of them, I know the hours of when they work, and these other two are just subject to be around or not. That's at different point. Man, so you just can't win. And I told you, I'm more incentivized to do the streams because of the interaction, and also because more people tend to see that than me just putting something up. If I want something I put up to actually get people to see it, I have to just share it all over Twitter. Just dump, 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 dump. I just love how Twitter can't even realize I just take their site and turned into my own little advertisement shop. I can see why you did this one at night. Yeah, I literally. So again, here's how my day went. I wake up. It's about 10 o'clock. I'm in the car driving, doing stuff, and I come back home at about 3, which is like 3 hours ago. Go to the market, do some stuff. So literally from this morning, from the time I woke up all the way up until now, it's pretty much just been stuff, 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 and that's not how it is during the regular weekdays. Well, it's like I said, Envoy. There are multiple very popular people on YouTube. I'm not going to call them out by name because I'll be accused of trying to use their names to get views. But there are multiple popular people on this site who, because they want to make an appearance of being, what's a good word for it, positive and not wanting to seem as if they're into drama, they won't talk about a lot of stuff that they'll discuss on Twitter. But if you go on their Twitter, they're talking terribly about some person using their name. They're posting screenshots of people that have commented to them. They say all kind of things that you would never hear them say on their channel. And I tried to say this before. I feel very consistent with my tone of voice and stuff I discuss on Twitter. You can ask Ruben if he ends up showing up either today or in some subsequent stream. I talk about political stuff on Twitter. Talk about the stuff with these voice actors on there. It's all consistent. It's the same stuff on both platforms. I talk a little bit less about the voice actor stuff because, right after talking to that one VA, Twitter locked my account. And apparently she has some ties to the people up there. So I was like, man, you know what? Screw this. I'm done with this topic. So it's a all right site if you can put up with dumb comment. And I always think it's really weird because I've noticed I don't really ever what's a good word for it? I don't usually interact with people that send me something on there. So that's why it feels weird when I see these like big arguments going back and forth. Like usually the only site where I really want to engage people is here because this is the only one where you can actually speak to individuals in real time and have like the thing auto put itself up afterward. You can kind of do that a little bit on Instagram, but not really. Oh, let me see if I can get this thing. Yeah, because they tell you that they act one way on one website, then they act completely different on another one. And it's out in the open, so they're not trying to hide it, but they know where they can be themselves and where they have to mask themselves. Like it's kind of like if you behave one way, like if every time I go out I do a video, right, I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I'm talking about how much I hate all these different people, but then I go out into real life and I'm kind and I don't say anything about anyone. That's two different people. You say one thing in your home, then you go somewhere else and it's there. Since YouTube pays dependent on views, you can see why they're fake. Oh yeah, they're doing it so they can get the advertiser stuff. Again, I'm not bemoaning trying to act professional, but if you're gonna do that, do it in your entire public sphere. Because I don't write stuff that I would have a problem saying on camera directly to you, if whoever ended up seeing this. But they apparently do. I can't wait for somebody to leave a comment asking, what is the stream's topic about again? Because like right now, I didn't expect this to go on for as long as it has. It's literally just whatever around me is occurring, and we see what happens. Anthony got completely ignored. I feel so bad. I've treated him so poorly. That's how it works. How work is also, you got to be fake and establishments, the corporate world. Yeah, but here's my thing. You can go and speak that way. I guess I put it to you like this. I'd have a lot less of a problem with it if it was an actual position, because on YouTube, people are the reason that someone gets paid more than somebody else, the number of views, right? So if those people liked you so much, they wouldn't care if you cursed or told somebody off, right? Think about it. I mean, I can name you multiple instances where someone does one video and it just completely like makes people just disenfranchised with them. But you're supposed to acquiesce to their petulance and appeal to them anytime you can. These chicks either have or doing that yeah. I think I spoke on here before about how it was my second week of college and this chick approached me or whatever to do some project with her. And she said that she was going to hang out after school with her guy or something. And then I saw her after school and she was by herself. So I thought she was just lying. And then about a day or two later, I said something to her. And then, like, right as I spoke to her, this big old huge guy came right behind, and she lied and told him I was following her and whatever, and then I stopped speaking to her completely for like 3 or 4 months. No, this was my second week of college, and then within 2 or 3 months, she sends me a text message, and I think to myself, "Oh, she must have finally stopped speaking to this guy." And then it turns out the guy had just become a little bit more busier and wasn't picking her up anymore. Man, that was I'm telling you, that was the that's actually the last time I ever tried to engage in any kind of quote unquote romantic thing with any classmate, any school. I couldn't believe it. I said, wow, you just asked somebody a question that happens. Must be a prune. Couldn't got beat up by the sound of it. Well, that's my point. That's why, like, I keep trying to explain the chick stuff isn't just about like quitting it, right? It's not about being entitled or being, feeling as if you deserve this or any of that crap. It's relating to the fact that there are external factors out of your control that can have repercussions that you just don't deserve. I didn't deserve to get, again, hypothetical, murdered over asking some woman a question, but it could have happened. But it would have it would have had a lot less likely chance of happening if I hadn't have ever spoken to her. So that's what I'm saying. That I just don't see a benefit in interacting with them more often than not. But again, when I talk about external factors and things that you don't have control over, all of these positivity punks, as one YouTube commentator would call them, come and tell me that I'm crazy for saying that or feeling that way. This is really a miscellaneous stream. We're just going from one thing to another. I just brought that up because that you talked about college, and that was my. If I think of college romance, that's still the main thing that's in my head. I might have to go to YouTube headquarters because they're messing with. Yeah, I can't do them anymore, and I think I know why. They're trying to do something to Google Hangouts, which is what I would use um, to put it on the screen. I would share the screen, and I could play the game, and I'd have the music turned down and all that. So they're I don't think so, Bro Vulture, to answer your question. I don't think we're gonna get it. Or if we do, I'm gonna have to figure some other way of reaching it. But that's the reason I haven't done any recently. And it pisses me off because we were all the way up at the what was like the sixth badge for Leaf Green. So it sucks. No, no, no. On YouTube there's a function called live stream now, and then it has a little button where they ask if you want to use Google Hangouts. I would use that, and then it would link me to start broadcasting. Since then, since I did my last one, they've disabled that option. So if I go in there right now, and I would show you if I could use Google Hangouts, it doesn't let me do it. Yeah, it sucks. But like I said, a lot of stuff on here is leaving a lot to be desired. Also, I hope you understood my example when I brought up the thing of like how people nowadays take individuals and concepts, and then they feign outrage over how these things are treated, but they use it to smear someone else. So, for example, let's say that Broad Vulture, um, I don't know, wanted to run for senator, right? And I'm part of the party that's opposing him, and then it was found out that when he was, I don't know, let's say he's 40 now. When he was 30, he was in the car with some woman drunk, and then she fell off into the street and died. And her name was Susie. And then every time we see Raw Vulture, we go, "It's glad you get to live your life, but what about Susie?" And then Raw Vulture says to himself, "Well, look, this happened. I feel bad about it, but can we actually talk about the issues? Can Susie talk about the issues?" Yeah. No, but do you get the point? That it's not about being concerned with the legacy. And I know the Discord notifications are very loud and obnoxious. I'll turn it off. But it's not about being actually concerned with the legacy of Susie or how she's remembered. It's entirely having to do with trying to smear you using this dead person's identity. The fact that you knew them and played some role in their demise, we're gonna just everything you do basically like is completely undercut by that. And I think that's BS. Just I don't believe. I think people are too full of humanity and actually like multi-layered for you to just take one thing and say, "Yep, nothing this person ever did was good or decent or actually worth remembering." So again, with the Ted Kennedy thing, people bring up Chappaquiddick and Mary Jo Kopechne, the woman that died, as a way of smearing him, during his career and also post death, where you would never hear them say anything about this woman had she not been killed in the car while he was the driver, and it's all done to suppress the fact that he was one of the most influential non-president politicians of all time uh, through this smear, this story rather. Yeah, everything good they do just goes out the window. Let me see something. All right, I gotta go. So thank you. I'll see if we can do this later on tonight. If not, definitely tomorrow. I appreciate it.